years prior, I was in a smaller school with 50 classmates all around my age, and going into the high school, it was from 50 to 1,000. And at 14, I was seeking so much approval. I cared what everyone thought of me, and what I was tending to do was, at the time I didn't realize it, but I was conforming to so many social norms I thought were relevant, right? You know, wearing the right shoes because I thought that was cool, when not realizing that the shoes at one point are going to deteriorate and what's in my mind will last forever, right? And that really is what defines me. And back then, you know, not everyone had iPhones. You know, we didn't have social media as prevalent as we do now. And it took me a long time to realize these 3 levels of awareness. And I think they're so important, especially nowadays as technology becomes more and more prevalent. Because the first level is kind of doing what I did when I was in high school when I first started, is caring what everybody thinks about you. Every single person, validating that opinion and wanting to get some type of significance and approval from it. Then you kind of go into that second level of awareness. And that second level is disregarding all of it. You don't care what anyone thinks. You're going to do you. You're going to live your life. You tend to rebel, and you just want to be as organic as you possibly can and not be conscious of anyone's opinion. But the thing about phase 2 is that you tend to actually care even more about other people's opinions, and you're trying so hard to find significance in your life and validation, you rebel from everyone just to get more attention. Before I talk about level 3, I want to ask you a question. If you were to take an audit of all of your social media platforms right now, how many followers and outreach do you think you actually have? It could be 100,000 people, 200,000 people, 1 million people. But let's say hypothetically, it was just 2 people. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them. Just 2 people that you're following that are following you. Every piece of content that you would create, you'd be thinking about those 2 people's opinions of that content you're going to create. But that's not the case. The majority of us have an infinite amount of people that through the 6 degrees of separation are following us and can see the content that we create in the world. But so much of our time we spend before we make a post, before we do a tweet, we think of the opinions of the people that are going to see whatever we're coming out with. And we submerge ourselves with wanting to make sure we come out with is perfect. Well, here's the thing about this third phase. The third phase that you realize, right? From phase 1, you care what everyone thinks. Phase 2, you don't care what anyone thinks, but you care even more. The third phase is realizing no one's even thinking about you in the first place because they're so busy thinking about themselves. Now, when I say that, a lot of you may think, no one's thinking about me. What? That's the most liberating thing in the world. Here's why. People don't spend 24 hours out of every day going, I wonder what Darik's doing right now. I wonder what Darik's doing today. No, they're busy with their own lives. So when you're thinking of your social media, for example, you're taking audit of it. When you're coming out with some type of content, you're trying to get validation from not the 2 followers in my example, but the millions of people in the world. You're never going to find validation from every single one. It's a cloud. It's not an actual person you're finding validation from. It's an idea, and it doesn't exist. It's created in our own thoughts. You're never going to reach it. It's like that donkey that has the carrot tied to him, and he's trying to get to that carrot, and you'll never get there. The carrot doesn't exist. And when you accept this third phase of awareness that no one's even thinking about you in the first place, it allows you to do something that's so important. And it's how all the greats have built legacies. You become you, whatever that may be. But it's the most authentic version of yourself because you stop stepping into the role that you think people want you to be. You start being who you're meant to be. This isn't something that I've mastered overnight, and I still don't have it. And anyone that says they have it, they don't. But when you realize these 3 phases, you're caring what everyone thinks about you. You don't care what anyone thinks, but deep down you probably care even more. And then the third is, you realize no one's even thinking about you. It allows you to liberate from this construct that people's opinions even matter. And you do something bigger. You live for you. And ironically, you tend to build a community of people that really value you in the first place because of your authenticity.